All right, so this is TBC Abundant Life, and we're going to be talking about branding and communicating. Communicating branding when you're selling our offer, when you're closing individuals, when you're speaking to merchants, or even just individuals in general. Um, so I'm going to play a video to kind of give you guys some context on what I'm kind of going at here.
Things we work with are familiarity, surprise, and context. You have to be open. If it wasn't interesting, people wouldn't have said anything about it at all because it means that people care. One of the good things about poetry doesn't describe an experience. Good poetry is an experience. And so I reimagine poetry as a core discipline in the way we think about strategy. Brands live in two places. One's an internally facing question, which is about authenticity, is about who we are, and then relevance, which is an externally facing question, which is what is the world looking for? I don't think that's true anymore. But not being relevant about being remarkable. Because if you're not extraordinary, no one's going to pay attention. A designer is like a good host, anticipating the needs of their guests. But anticipating is a future-facing value. That means what might people need, will like, will want that we can get ahead of and create for them even before they know it. Our job is to get our clients into the future as quickly as possible. And the word anticipation is the best value to help us get there. The three things we work with are.
So what that's really talking about there, what that video is talking about is, it's the process of creating the experience when you're communicating your message to somebody. So when you're speaking to somebody, when you're speaking to a merchant about United for Food, you need to be cognizant and aware of the experience you're creating for them, because that's going to reflect how they feel about the brand and everything that we're doing. At the end of the day, United for Food is a brand to an extent. Even though it is structured as a campaign, it is a brand in the eyes of the market. So when you're talking about United for Food, when you're speaking to a merchant, you need to be aware of what you're communicating to them. When I step into the space of a merchant, right, I'm walking in with the energy and intention and just embodiment that, I'm an economic developer with United for Food. And United for Food is a multi-billion-dollar food distribution business, right? Now, of course, we're not there yet, right? But that's where we're headed. So that's where I'm coming from, right? Because that's the future that we're going to be taking our clients essentially into, right? We're taking them from where they are into a reality where United for Food is a multi-billion-dollar food distribution business. And of course, that's not even including anything on the back end in regards to TBC. So when you're stepping into the space of a merchant or on the phone and entering an interaction and a conversation with a merchant, a gatekeeper, for example, a cashier, or just somebody in general, you should be coming with that energy and coming with that mentality, right? Because that is the brand that you're communicating to them. That's the experience you're creating for them. If you step, let's say you go into like a bagel shop or whatever, and the owner's not there, but you leave an impression through the experience you created for the cashier there about United for Food, that is impactful and remarkable, like this guy was saying. They're going to be inclined to share that with their owner, right? If you come in and you kind of just come in weak, and you come in unconfident, you come in iffy, right? That's not going to be very impactful then for them. It's probably going to slip their mind, right? But if you come in strong and you come in really communicating and creating an experience for them that's unforgettable, they're going to be sure to tell their manager or whoever runs that establishment about that experience, because they're going to want themselves to be a part of that, right? So does what he was saying there make sense about the fact that really, when you're selling, when you're communicating your message, it's poetry. It's about creating an experience for the person and an experience that they're going to remember. Does that make sense to you guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It makes sense. I have an idea for like bagel shops. I know one that's probably because there's a lot of places that are like franchised or like the, I guess, state famous, if you know what I mean, that has chains.
Corporate.
yeah, corporations that are famous in their state, but basically they have like branches, you know, like franchise. And I thought of
Franchise operations are can do it. It just depends on the structure of the franchise. If the general manager of the franchise, that specific establishment itself, has enough power, then it's fine. If they don't, it depends on how the franchise is structured. So if they don't, and they would need to consult their higher ups, then it can be more complicated. It's not that you can't do it; it's just a more drawn out process. So ideally, we're working with individual owned businesses, and working like that. But what I want to do today is I want to do role plays where the focus of the role play is the experience that you're creating for the merchant. Okay. Because I want to work on that part. So um, let's start with one of you guys, and I'll be the merchant, and I want you to essentially deliver the message you're looking to deliver to me. And then we're going to reflect on the experience that you created for the merchant, right? How did they perceive that? What was the reality that you were painting for them, right? What were you sharing with them that they would be stepping into? So that's what we're going to work on. This is kind of something I came across today, and I was thinking about it. And I thought, this is something good to develop for myself too. So I'm going to be learning here. You guys are going to be learning here, and that's just kind of what we're going to do. That'll be the drill. So, who wants to volunteer? Don't go silent on me now. All right. I'll call on somebody then. Let's go with Gina.
Hello.
Nobody volunteered, so I have to call on you.
I'm
uh,
fine.
all right, so I'm gonna be the merchant.
Okay.
Let's I'll be a small music store, so I sell instruments and like different supplies for instruments and things like that. And let's say I have more than 1,000 people in and out of my shop every single month, so I have a good amount of foot traffic. And yeah, so that's pretty much the information I'll give you up front, and then you would be coming in cold and just kind of delivering your message there.
Hmm.
And let's have a priority, and we'll have a conversation about the experience you created for me and the reality that you painted for me as a merchant.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. By any chance, are you the owner, or is the owner here that I could speak with?
I actually am the owner. I'll be around for, I'm not always in the front. Usually I'm doing lessons in the back, but I'm around right now.
So you're available to speak with Matt. You have a few moments of time.
Yeah, sure. I got a few minutes.
Well, let me introduce myself. My name's Gina. I'm an economic developer with United for Food. We're a humanitarian organization, and we're setting up food centers to help people to cut their grocery bills in half.
Hmm. Okay.
And we're going around to merchants to see if they'd like to get involved into helping us to do this. This would also help you because you would generate $175,000 a year for bringing people in through this program. And each program person who signs up for the program through you gets to come in and shop and cut their grocery bill in half, up to $400 a month, and it would only cost them $200 for that $400 that they spend. It's a simple process. We just, sign you up, and then we set up a QR code right here, and you just, direct or have your cashiers direct them to the QR code, and they just sign up for the program.
So you're saying I can earn $175,000 this year?
Yes, that is correct. Absolutely.
Now, how does that actually work?
Well, each time a person scans that code and they sign up, you're going to get a commission from it off of each individual person that signs up.
Okay. All right. So how many people would I actually have to bring to this campaign in order to earn that 175,000 you're talking about?
1,000 people to
Hmm.
earn the 175,000 a year. I don't know how many people you have come out in and out of your shop per month, but most generally, 1,000's pretty doable.
All right. Um, so what's it gonna cost me? Is it free?
Well, no, there is a cost. It's $300 a year to sign up for it. It's a one-time $300 to sign up for it per year.
Okay. It sounds interesting. Is there any way I can do, like, you can give me some information so I can think about it some more, and then follow up with you or get back to you about it?
Sure, I have business cards. We have meetings and presentations if you wanted to come in and listen to those as well.
Okay. Yeah, I might do that. So let me take your card, and then I'll uh I'll look up I see that your website here on the card, so I'll look up your website and everything, and then I'll call you.
That sounds awesome. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you for your time.
Okay, feedback, please.
All right, so I'm not gonna give you feedback. I want everyone else to give Gina feedback.
Awesome. Go for it.
First I want to say congratulations. That was actually pretty good. But I would say the one thing I would say is that is I think normally people, when you say invite them to a Zoom call and stuff, and you can't take people's word like literally. Plus they'll say they will join, but they really wouldn't join. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and if you have to, like, I don't know, it's like you have to like make it sure, like, okay, are you sure you're gonna like join this? But like make it, but in a slick way, like not like you're pushing it on them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Because
So for me, just speaking about where I was coming from the role I was playing, my intention was to take your card, take the information, and kind of just forget about it. Uh,
exactly, that's what I was saying. Because
um,
people do that a lot, you know.
Mm, sure.
so I was giving you things that you could have pressed further, not in an aggressive way, but in a authoritative way, to where you could have secured my interest and could have locked me down. But you kind of took those things, and you didn't act on them. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. Yeah.
ideally, when I give you, like, for example, when I tell you, is there any way I can learn more about it? Like, if somebody asked me that, I would kind of say, sure, I can definitely give you more information. However, since I'm here right now, what questions do you have that are on your mind? That way I can, give those answers to you, like, here and now.
Okay.
That draws them out more, right? Because
Right.
that's part of fact finding. So you need to find out what their real position is, where they're
Mhm.
what they really believe, and all that kind of stuff. So let's do this now. Let's reverse. So now you can play the merchant. You can play the same merchant, music store if you want to, or you can create your
Sure.
own. You want to do the music store?
Yeah, I'm actually a huge music person. I am and everything.
That's cool. All right. So you can play the music store owner, and I'll be a economic developer. All
Okay.
right. So I'm walking in. Hey, is the owner of this music store around today?
Actually, I'm the owner.
Oh, nice. All right. I'm actually an economic developer with United for Food. We're a local humanitarian organization, and we're networking with small business owners in the area. Do you have like maybe 3 to 5 minutes of time where I could share some information with you real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely.
All right, cool, cool. So yeah, we're actually building food centers in the city here. We're looking to build a food center that families will be able to go to and shop for name brand food products at half cost. I don't know what type of clientele you typically service, but would you say that a majority, or maybe at least an amount of individuals that frequent your shop, would be interested in cutting their food bills in half?
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they would.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we're really looking to, especially with the pandemic here, everything like that, we're looking to help families save money, have more money at the end of each month and everything like that. Now, here's the best part. You can actually earn a significant amount of income through partnering with us as a United for Food partner. What that would look like for you is you'd have a QR code brochure at your cash register there, and you just have your cashier say, hey, we're partnered with United for Food. They're a local humanitarian organization looking to do something here in town, and they just direct attention to the brochure there. And then we'll have some information on that brochure that a person can quickly read. It's very simple, very straightforward. They can scan that QR code and then start initiating a process with us to get on a presentation with one of the people from our sales team. I'm actually on that sales team myself. And then we'll basically educate them about the offer, educate them about the food center, everything else we have going on, and sign them up and get them as a part of our community. Now, for every person that signs up, you'll actually get a commission from us, and that can be significant to you or your business there, right? So, how many people would you say come in and out of this music store every single month?
A month? Oh, wow. Oh, 800 to 1,000 probably.
800 to 1,000. So let's just use very small numbers. Let's say only 100 people join United for Food out of that every single month. The reality is probably closer to 500, potentially even all 1,000 of them would join with us. But let's just use small numbers here. So if only 100 people join United for Food, now you're basically your commission through partnering with myself as the sales team member here, is you'll get $7.50 every single month for each person that joins United for Food. So just from those 100 people, that would be $750 every single month. The reality of it is significantly more than 100 people that come in and out of your shop are going to be interested in what we're doing. So within a single month's time, you can have a couple $1,000s coming to you on a recurring basis every single month. And then of course the next month that amount will grow as more people from your store join United for Food. Does that sound like something that might be interesting for you?
Yeah, I'd like more information, but yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. I mean, how would I go about getting these commissions?
So you'll actually create a account with us. So you'll be one of our partners. You'll have a merchant account with us. And then basically you'll get that commission from our system. It's all automated, right? So you don't have to do any back end work. That commission will be paid out to you in an automated way. So all you would really have to do on your end is just offer that QR code. Everything else is automated. So it's a really simple process there. And, with that being said, we do actually have a new merchant presentation that we're hosting, on Thursday at 8 p.m. Today's Wednesday. Do you think you'd be available at 8 p.m. on Thursday?
Uh, I think so. I've checked my schedule, but most generally I would. And
Okay.
how long does this presentation last?
About 30 minutes. Sometimes there are questions though, so it can go over 30 minutes. So I would set aside around an hour, just to be safe there. That way, especially if you have any questions or you can listen to questions that other merchants have, we'll have actually several merchants, attending our presentation there and learning about being a partner with us. So I'd like to lock you down for that presentation. That way you can be there. and then we'll follow up with you after that presentation, and we'll get you the brochure, a nice stand for the brochure, and a bunch of my business cards as well. That way you can have that all available to you.
Okay, so we get a stack of business cards. Now, what are the business cards for?
The business cards are my business cards. So you'd be giving that to every single individual that scans the QR code. That way they have a direct line of contact with me. I'll also have access to their numbers, but we want them to have access to be able to call me as well, you know. That way they know who they will be speaking with ahead of time and everything like that, because it's important for my end to create a good relationship with that individual. That way, you know, of course, you can get the monthly commissions, and we can create and have a long time customer there, a long time relationship.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. So once one of my customers comes in, they scan the QR code, they just sign up, and then that's it. There's nothing else on my part to do.
So there's literally nothing else on your part to do apart from giving attention to the brochure itself and giving them the business card. Everything else will be handled on my end. My team will handle the entire process and the customer relationship there. You don't have to do anything else. So it's very simple for you. And we're really just creating this offer, you know, for small business owners. That way they can generate more income for their business. You know, because once you have a couple thousand people, you know, 1,000 people that join United for Food through your business, that's $7,500 every single month for your business. What kind of an impact would that have for you as a business owner?
Well, pretty significant. You know, that'd be, you know, I'd be able to do some things around here that I haven't been able to do.
Yeah.
Expand my business, you know, a little more.
Exactly. And there's actually a lot more benefits to being a part of our community, beyond just partnering with United for Food. We'll get into that information later on. We want you to start earning commissions through us and having that available to you as soon as possible. That way you can learn about the other aspects that we have going on. The reality of it is, though, it does cost you $300 a year to partner with us, but you'll be making that amount back within your first month, if not within your first week working with us. Does that sound like a cost that makes sense to you for what you're getting in return?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. No, if I'm going to be getting 7,500 a month, $300 is doable. It's worth it.
I can't hear you, Gina.
Yeah, it's doable. It's worth it. Yes.
Could
To,
you could you repeat that? I couldn't
yeah.
hear what you were saying.
My speaker's messing up. I said, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes, that would be doable. You know, 300 if I'm going to be getting 7,500 a month. You know, is doable and worth it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'll give you one of my cards for now, and I'll be in contact with you. May I have actually either your personal line there or a number we can communicate at? That way I can schedule the call with you and get you on the Zoom presentation.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. In fact, I have a business card that has my direct line on it. I could just give you.
Okay, that's great. All right, so I'm going to send you a text right now, and then we'll be in contact until, you know, tomorrow. Tomorrow's the presentation, tomorrow at 8 p.m. We'll be in
Sure.
contact between that time. I'll send you the link. That way you can join the presentation. We'll get you all the information, and then I'll follow up with you right after. And
Okay.
I'll come back on Friday with all the stuff you need to get going.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Have you any others in my community
So
involved in this yet?
you're actually one of the first businesses that I'm talking to today about this, but I'm going to be talking to about 15 other businesses today at least, you know. So there will be you know, there'll be a few businesses that'll be partnering with us within the next few days here. Our goal is to create
Awesome.
a large community here in you know, the Kansas area that you're at. Um, and, you know, have a very strong community around United for Food, as well as everything else we have going on, which I will share with you also.
I have one more quick question.
Sure.
So I'm friends with several merchants that are here that I'm connected with. Can if I bring merchants in, or can I bring merchants in? Do I benefit from that in any kind of way?
Yeah, so actually, if you bring merchants in, you'll receive a commission for bringing those merchants on. Now, they will be partnered with myself as far as handling the sales side of things, but you'll also receive a commission just for bringing that merchant on. So,
All right. Wow. That sounds pretty awesome then. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
so with
very
the
interested.
merchants
I'm looking
have
forward to.
with the merchants that you have there, it's costing you 300 per year. But if you bring on two of your merchant friends, two of your friends that own small businesses, you'll actually receive more than what you paid for in commissions. You'll receive around $360 in commissions for bringing those two people on there.
Oh, well, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how simple it is. So I got to run, but I'll see you at the
Sure.
presentation, and then
Hmm.
I'll be following up with you right after so we can get you going.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you for your time. All right, so now you guys can give me feedback on how I did, the experience that I created, and everything like that.
Well, personally, I see a huge difference in, my presentation to your presentation. I learned a lot from the feedback just from the presentation that you gave. I was listening intently to what you were saying, how you were saying it, and I'm gonna keep running that through my head, and working with that so that I can be a better presenter myself.
Yeah,
What I'm doing now.
this is recorded, so you'll be able to review it and study it as well. Um, do either Nate, Soheeb, Mary Lou, or Amanda have any like feedback things that you saw that were good, or things that you saw that I should improve upon? Either is cool.
I just like how you asked her questions and said how, like, what would this do for you as a business, and like allowed her to think about what how United for Food could benefit her. That's
Yeah.
something I want to implement when I go out and do this.
Yeah, because like, so if you remember in that video, he talked about um, creating the reality that you want them to step into, and that's part of why I was doing that. I was laying the foundations for her as a business owner, for Gina to start stepping into how it would be for her, what it would feel like to be partnered with United for Food, and what that reality would be. And then I also laid small foundations for, we also have other things going on as a community as well, but then kept the focus on United for Food.
you are good at you are also good at selling your idea so that Gina, the merchant, will accept, or yeah, will partner with you.
Yeah, the idea is to make it a no-brainer offer, right? It's almost like to turn me down would be insane, right? That's what the experience I'm trying to communicate,
That's
that's
right.
what I share with them is like really what we have going on. There's no way you can lose. The only way you could lose is if you just didn't actually direct attention to the brochure itself. That's the only possible way you could lose. Um,
Right.
there's no way you could lose, and what we're doing is great, right? Our offer is remarkable, right? Like how the guy was saying in that video, having something that is remarkable, that stands out. Our offer itself stands out, not just to the business owner, but also to the individual that would be joining United for Food. The offer is amazing. So on both levels, it's remarkable. So for them, it's a no-brainer. We just have to create that understanding and give them the experience of what it's like to be a part of United for Food.
Well, and plus it's really unique. I mean, it's not the average sales pitch type thing, when you go out there. This is very unique. It's not just selling a product or a service. It's selling a idea and something that can help the merchant, but at the same time helping humanity, helping people's lives. So it's very different than the average thing that people are out here pitching.
Yeah, it's an amazing offer, like I don't want to say it's easy to sell, but it's definitely it's 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 a better thing to sell than most of your typical sales offers, right? Uh,
It is.
you sold pools, right? I think you were telling me that. I think
Oh my gosh, yes.
yes.
It
That's
was not a good experience.
it's not easy. Um,
Oh no.
Selling something like this, it's a completely different ball game because people are so receptive to what we're doing, you know.
Well,
So
yeah, it's a good thing.
yeah, so you're able to overcome and like basically bypass a majority of people's safeguards in regards to being sold something because of the nature of our offer. You don't have to deal with those things just because of the type of thing we're offering. You know, you don't have to deal with the rejection most of the time. You don't have to deal with a lot of the projection of, oh, this is just another sleazy salesman trying to get my money. Well, we're trying to help you make money. We're trying to help the community save.
Hmm.
So how are you going to bring that against us, right?
Absolutely.
So it's really simple that way, you know.
Yeah, the pool thing was a really good experience for me though.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't last long for me, but because it was high pressure, to be honest with you. And they were advertising. I know you guys have seen it on TV. I'm not going to mention the name, but they were advertising a $299 swimming pool.
Hmm.
But once the people set the appointments and I went out to the appointments because they were preset, they wanted me to immediately upsell them, nothing in between, from a $299 swimming pool to a $21,000 swimming pool.
Jeez, that's an upsell.
That, I mean, there was no in between. There wasn't like a $10,000 model, a $15,000 model in between there. It was a jump from a $299, pool they thought that they were signing up to get, or the possibility of getting, to trying to upsell them to a $21,000 swimming pool. So it was a very hard sell, a very hard pitch,
Yeah.
to get individuals to do that, because it's not a small jump. I mean, I don't, if it was a $10,000 pool, I would think that would be difficult going from $299, but this was jumping to a $21,000 pool. And it was just one of the hardest things to do. And yeah, it didn't last long for me because I didn't like the way that they were doing that. I thought that was so wrong to advertise a $299 swimming pool, and then I'm supposed to go out there and try to upsell them to a $21,000 pool.
Yeah, for
How
sure.
You
much was the
know,
commission off of that?
the off of the $21,000 swimming pool, if I got them to it, about 10.
So that's on 2,100.
No, 10,000
Oh, 10,000
for a
dollars.
swimming pool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but you're still the same. That's really, really difficult to do. Yeah, we had financing, but gosh.
yeah. They had you go from selling a normal pool to a recreation pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, absolutely. Basically, the $299 pool, it was an oval type pool with these poles on the outside, and
Ground pool.
in it, and then we got above ground pool, and then we had to upsell them to a rounder model that was way better, with way better equipment. But how many people you going to be able to do that?
Yeah.
How many people are going to, you know, jump into financing I mean, the $21,000, that's a down payment on a home, or that's a really nice whip.
Yeah. 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 I mean, the reality of what we're selling with United for Food here is it's such a simple offer. And now with the partnership agreement, the scalability of it is insane, right?
It is, absolutely. And the part about the last part, that last question I had, for the merchant to hear that, hey, if, I bring other merchants in, it's basically right there, has paid for my membership automatically
Yeah.
just from bringing two in,
Yeah.
because a lot of merchants, when not corporate merchants, but smaller merchants like we're targeting, from what I know from my community anyways, is they usually network together. I mean, a lot of small business owners like that know one another. And they go to those small, what do they call them? There's these meetings they have here, like commerce or small business meetings.
Yeah. Chamber of Commerce. Yeah.
There you go. They go to those
Yeah.
and they're there. So to be honest with you, I have a friend who's been trying to get me to come to one of those small business meetings. And now I might take that and just try while I'm there at
Yeah.
that small business meeting
You bring up,
to
dude, you could close everybody in that whole meeting.
exactly. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, I need to call my friend because he said he could invite me to one of those meetings. So, hey.
Yeah. Yeah. So for that, that's something we can do once we kind of have a system in place, because we definitely want to be able to handle that massive scale.
That influx.
Yeah. But there's probably going to be 50, maybe 80, 100 people there at that are all business owners.
Yes, they're all basically small business owners here in this area that come to that meeting. From like you said, within a 50-mile radius. They're coming from this Johnson County area, majority of them.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah, so
for you. So, that's something definitely worth looking into.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, for sure. So before we close this out, did Nate or Sohaib, did you have any comments, questions, or things to improve upon about the role plays that we did? Or what did you take away from that?
I what I took away from it was that like it was I learned pretty much a lot about it because I had this idea of how I was gonna go about talking to businesses and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so I like how the Gina, she said like there's a Zoom call that has like hundreds of people, business owners in one call. That's pretty lucky right there.
Yeah, the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. You can actually, I think you can attend those. There's Chamber of Commerce, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
B&B meetings, or not B&B.
Better
I'll
Business Bureau,
uh
right?
there's a certain name.
Yeah.
I have to look up the name, but
Yeah, there's
there's Chamber of Commerce, and then there's another type of meeting that small business
mm-hmm.
do. I'll look up the name for that. But that's another meeting that has, tons and tons of small business owners there and present. Um,
Right. And I would want to get business cards and like have a stack of them with me
yeah,
when I go there because, giving them out to the people that are there. So yeah, and I mean it costs to go. You have to, if you want to keep attending those meetings, you do have to pay to become a member to
yeah,
keep going to them. But I can go, to a one or two or something like that for free.
that's all you
You
need to
know,
make that initial exposure there.
it absolutely. That's what I'm thinking. So that one or two, and then here's the thing: there's multiple different Chamber of Commerce branches, so I don't have to just go to one.
Yeah,
I can go to multiple different ones, and they're going to be multiple different businesses
yeah,
and different ones. Maybe a few the same, but different ones have different businesses. So,
for sure.
yeah.
Okay, so Nathaniel, do you have any questions, comments, or things you took away from the role play there?
Not really. It's just that I understand some people have to you have to start somewhere with some merchants, and I imagine a lot of them are going to be like, okay, can I see some examples? Like I believe this, but I need to know that it works or whatever.
Yeah. So having case studies. So there's two ways you can approach that when you're approached with that kind of thing. You can just say, well, look, we're starting from the ground up here. So if the paying the $300 is an issue for you because you're not sure whether you'll be able to have your people respond, the customers that come in and out of your store respond to our offer. If you're unsure about that, what we can do is I'll put my brochure on your counter here, right? And I'll have my code, and let's just run a test, see how many people actually respond to it. That way you can have a reality on what that looks like. And let's say we have, you know, a couple hundred or 1,000 people respond to it just from that. I'll actually pay you $1,000 just for helping me out there with that. And you know, you can put 300 of that $1,000 there towards your annual fee. And then actually once you do that, we'll just throw your brochure, or your QR code on the brochure, and then we can run it through you that way. That way you can establish a reality with us about what we're able to do and what that would look like for you as a business owner. You know, that's how I'd approach that one.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, okay, cool. So I'll put this on my counter and I'm incentivized to actually drive traffic to it, because if I do a good job, you know, I'll get $1,000 for doing that. And then on top of that, I'll be able to join their program and then earn residual income every single month from then on, you know? So
Mhm.
every aspect of their questionability. But once we have case studies, you won't run into that anymore. You'll just be like, yeah, look, we're doing this with this other merchant. You know, this guy's in Philadelphia. These are some merchants in Philly. These are some merchants in Houston. These are some merchants in Kansas. You know,
Mhm.
merchants in Michigan, wherever. You won't run into that problem anymore. We'll have merchants lining up to be a part of what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that initial push. That's going to be the more difficult part. But like I said, if you just approach it the way I just kind of talked about, super simple.
Yeah, good
So
idea.
so basically, the merch pays the 300. Everyone outside of that does $15 or some or so.
You're paying
To
30 a month. Yeah. So I mean, they can also do the annual payment there. It's just the reality of it is it's probably going to be monthly payments. You know, that's just kind of,
Mhm.
they could do annual payments. I'm not saying there won't be people that do it, but the reality is a majority are going to be doing monthly.
yeah.
But I mean, that's fine. That's not a problem. You know.
So for the QR codes, they just have to scan it, and then that's how they sign up.
So they scan it, and then you remember when, for example, when Mary Lou shared her link with you, and it
Yeah,
took you to that page. That's what the QR code will take you to.
it take you to
You have your own
Craneville.cash.
QR code, Swaib. I will show you that later.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of that. I was just kind of wondering.
You're aware already. All right.
Yeah, I have the link, but
Oh,
what I was saying was that
but
so
you have
they
your own QR code as well.
yes,
You
Yeah,
just click United for Food,
yeah.
yeah,
and
You
you
already
can download the QR code, your QR code. Yeah.
okay, okay, cool.
yeah.
You'll want to get a bunch of those printed out, when you start going to merchants.
Yeah.
Nice, Dina.
So this week, the goal is going to be for all of us to bring on one merchant, and then we're going to create the systems in order to handle that inflow, right? We're just
Mhm.
going to start with one. We're not going to go hitting it too hard, because we want to make sure we can do the follow-up work, and we don't
Right,
fall on that. Once all of that is solid, then we can start scaling.
right.
So basically, we'll do that. We'll let it run for, a week or 2 weeks there. And then we'll build out our systems, and then we'll start scaling. We'll go out, bring on 10 merchants, and then scale that, and then start bringing on a door-to-door guy there, and then scale that. Just start implementing all the processes that I've been talking about. So step by step, we'll start plugging those in.
Mm,
All right, guys. So that's everything I have
awesome.
for you.
Mhm.
So we'll cut the recording there. Thank you for joining.